Alrighty, just put it out there that we are officially live. Hello everyone. If you are joining us here today, you all know who I am. I am Corey Roby with eXp Realty. And today I just want to first take a moment and thank everyone for joining us on this first launch. And here I have Russ Ogburn with me. And we'll dive into him a little later, but I definitely want to say that I want to use this platform for a lot of different reasons, and it's definitely all things real estate, whether it's home buying, investing, or just making the best decision for you and your family. I want to be a part of that, and that's what I strive to do here with Roby Roundtable. And here with me, like I said, I have Russ. I couldn't think about anyone else who I would rather have on the first episode of Roby Roundtable than this gentleman here. Just a little bit about my knowledge of Russ and our relationship. Russ was actually the first mortgage lender to secure a loan from my very first client about 3-4 years ago. So when I was putting Roby Roundtable together, I thought, hey, let's reach out to Russ and see if there's something he would be interested in. And lo and behold, I was able to get him here. So Russ is a man with 30 years of experience under his belt. He is an expert in the field. I thought, who better yet to educate you all out here in our community than this gentleman here. So I'll let Russ take it away and kind of tell us about you and your processes and what you do outside of mortgage. Russ.
Corey Roby, Roundtable, I love it.
You always come with this energy, man. I love it.
We did one of these a while ago. What do we have, 1 million viewers on that one?
Probably.
We were close.
We were very close last time, yeah.
All right. So yeah, I'm Russ Ogburn, area producing manager in Madison, Mississippi. We do business all over the state of Mississippi, and we're your local experts. Highlight about us recently is we just got rated as the top lender for most client satisfaction's highest reviews with Zillow for 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we've got tremendous experience, a great company we'll share more about with you as well, and client satisfaction ratings that are out the roof for us individually and as a company, which is so important to know who you're dealing with and they're reputable.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And when we talk about reputation is everything. So again, when I said Russ, I knew solid background. I knew would lead a client over to that next phase where they're securing that loan. Again, so thank you for that. So let's hop right on in. We talked about a little about your background. I really want to talk about Guild a little bit. We're going to switch gears to Guild. And you're the area manager there. Is that correct?
Correct.
So what makes Guild Mortgage different from those other competitors out there or other lenders out there?
Great.
Something unique.
Great question. Again, I was with a lender for 18 years, another one for 7 years, another one for 7 years after that. We recently moved to Guild Mortgage in last December. So we've been there just over a year now at this point, and we really tremendously enjoyed it. All our other companies were very good. What Guild offered to us at that time was about 50 to 70 new programs that we weren't able to offer where we were at. In addition, they had great support, great culture, and they were on the rise. And obviously, with their Zillow customer service ratings, it's all coming together.
Yes.
So, what makes us different? I'll just highlight a few key things that we can offer that maybe some other lenders do not offer, which I think are the key things. We do offer all the main programs, conventional USDA, VA, all those good programs we do offer as well, and we have price match guarantees against all of our local lenders in the area. The ones that really highlight us and really made us successful in 2024 was our 0% down FHA loan.
How did that work?
That's a phenomenal program. So there's some down payment assistance programs out there, and our company's known for being one of the top down payment assistance companies in the country. But this program is a 0 down, up to 5% assistance, as low as a 600 credit score, no income limits, no property restrictions. So again, that one's been a home run for us, and you don't need money necessarily to buy a house with these 0 down and down payment assistance programs. We also have a 1% down conventional program. Our company pays 2% of the 3% down that's required, and the client only pays 1%. I don't believe any other lenders are doing that program either, but that's a phenomenal program when someone has a little bit better credit, and maybe not a lot of money in hand at that moment.
So what would the credit score look like for that particular?
So a minimum of 620.
620, okay.
For that one, absolutely. And then our other big hot item is our 2-1 buy down. So with rates being a little bit higher in 2024, 2025, the 2-1 buy down has been one of the most popular. So that's 2% lower interest rate for year one.
Okay.
1% lower interest rate for year two. back to the third year at the original interest rate.
Okay.
At that, other lenders can do that program, and you may have heard them offer it. What we do differently than those other lenders is we don't charge them the full price. It's 1/3 of the cost is paid by my company, and 2/3 paid by the seller for the credit.
So in a sense, you are taking a little burden off of your clients there.
We are, and it makes the negotiations between realtors and getting the contract done much easier at 1/3 off of the cost versus paying full price, which is what all the other lenders in town do, is to my knowledge.
Got it. Understood. Well, thank you for that. So I'll hop into the next question that we received from one of our viewers. What are the most important steps home buyers need to take when preparing to apply for a mortgage?
Preparing to apply for a mortgage, that's a great question. Mm-hmm. So again, you want to try to make sure your credit's in line. Okay. Is one of the top items. A lot of programs can get you qualified as low as 580. Most approvals, though, come around somewhere between 620 and 640. So you really want to, if you're looking at your credit, number one, that's a good target, is try to get to 640 plus. That opens the doors to a tremendous amount of programs, a lot of the first-time homeowner programs. Some of them do open with a minimum 640 credit score. So you open all your doors once you get to 640 or higher. You want to make sure your income is coming in good and you're paying your bills on time, and that your debt ratio is one of the things we'll look at, is your bills compared to your income, to make sure your debt ratio qualifies for these guidelines the government gives us to qualify you.
Understood. That makes sense, Russ. Thank you for that insight as well. So if I was a first-time home buyer, I've never been through this before, and I'm ready. I got everything in line. I have my 620, 640 credit score. I have some money saved up, and I'm ready to move on with this process. What documents would you need from me in order to actually fill out that mortgage application?
Excellent question. So again, we're going to need your last 30 days of pay stubs. Mm-hmm. We're going to need your W-2s.
Okay.
If you're self-employed, we'll need 2 years tax returns. We're going to need bank statements showing that you got money for your down payment, or reserve money or backup money that'll help with your qualification. Those are some of the key items, is your income items, your bank statements. We'll review your credit, and we'll give you a full analysis of what we see once you provide it to us, and then we'll look at what those best options are for you and what first-time homeowner programs you qualify for, or any other down payment assistance program.
And I think that's super important. I work with a lot of buyers, and it's without a doubt, I don't think any buyer has ever come to me, first-time home buyer, and said, each one, it probably said, what do I qualify for as a first-time home buyer? So that insight there goes a long way. Next question that I have for you, Russ, I said, can you explain the difference between being pre-qualified and being pre-approved? That's a big one.
That is a big one. Pre-qualified and pre-approved, they're very similar, but pre-qualified means you provided us your information online, and based on that information, we're giving you a pre-qualified approval. The pre-approval is a full review of your income and assets to make sure everything is lined up correctly. So it's a little bit more in-depth approval to actually have the actual pre-approval. If you're pre-qualified and you're a salary or W-2 and all your information is in there correctly, then it's a pretty clean process still. But again, getting the full information is so important. If you're self-employed, we will require a review of your 2 years tax returns to pre-qualify you before an official pre-qual is listed out, to make sure you know exactly where you stand, and the realtors also know that you're qualified for that property.
Awesome. So back on the subject of first-time home buyers, what advice would you give first-time home buyers to make sure that they have a successful mortgage process?
Yes, again, work on your credit. If you have minimal credit, I would open a secured account. Those are very easy to do, maybe with your local bank as well in the area. They'll have some starter or credit builder accounts. I would ask your local bank about those programs. You might have to put $300, $500 in to open that account, but it will help you start building your credit. Capital One also does a secured account, so even if your credit's bad or you have no credit, you can open a secured Capital One account for $300, $500, and then make payments minimally every month on that to help your credit too. If you have no credit, it takes about 6 or 7 months for that credit to be an indicator on the mortgage pulls.
Okay.
So that's real important too. And then again, you want to save as much money as you can in the bank account. If you got money in your mattress or your safe, you want to get that out. If you're looking to buy a house, a lot of our clients have that.
Mattress money is real.
Mattress money is real. But you have to season that money for a month up to 2 months. So you want to get that money in the bank account so it can get seasoned per government guidelines, and you have access to use that, whether it's for down payment or just to show that you have reserve money available, which will help your approval.
All right, a lot of information there already, guys. So I hope you're taking notes. Just dig a little deeper and switch gears just a little bit. I'm gonna switch to current market. So a question I have for you, Russ, is how do you see the current housing market in Mississippi affecting buyers and mortgage rates? We have a lot going on, and I kind of did, and just to elaborate just a little bit, I did hear someone in your company, I think it was your son, Mr. Jared, there, kind of speak about what's going on and how it's going to affect Guild Mortgage, and he had some great advice. So if you can elaborate on that with us just a little bit, that would help me out.
Sure. Yeah, 2024 was a little bit lower year production for lenders and realtors because of the market and the conditions. 2025, the good news is we're expecting, according to the economists, about a 15 to 20% increase.
Whew.
So we all need that, and that's going to be wonderful. So that is super good. But Guild is a top 10 lender in the country, and we have a lot of programs, and again, about 50 more to 75 more than we had at our previous employer. And that includes some in-house type programs. I already mentioned some of our highlighted programs, but we do have down payment assistance programs available, even if some of the government guidelines change on that. So we're excited about that, and that's good to have a big lender that has local resources, local people that can tap into the best programs available for our clients.
And I love what you just mentioned there, Russ, about being local. Again, tied into your community, knowing that, hey, we may not have these options from the government, but hey, come to Guild Mortgage and we still have some in-house internal things that we can do for you and your clients, or for you all out there. So what's the most rewarding aspect of your work with Guild Mortgage and the community? Like, what's something that you pride yourselves on?
Oh, yeah. Well, again, the mortgage or the house that people buy is their most precious and biggest asset in most cases. So it's an honor and privilege to help clients get that secure, get them comfortable, walk them through the process. We love first-time home buyers, and again, our company is really built for first-time home buyers as well. And we really love walking them through, getting them from going uncomfortable to comfortable with the whole process, letting them know it's fairly easy to do, and you don't need to have a lot of money. You don't have to put 20% down, all those kind of things. You can get in with zero money down on those programs. And we love being a part of the community. Guild and my team's always been, wherever we've been, has been a part of MAR and CMR, the realtor organizations in this great community. And we do a lot of community service with them, and also on our own. We just did Madcap over Christmas, and we also did a jacket donation for some local churches in the area for the winter as well. So we're very much into that. So if anyone out there has good suggestions for those type of community things, Guild Mortgage is very receptive to those and would like to help and assist in those to help our community.
Awesome, man. Russ, thank you, man, for your contribution to our community, man. That speaks volumes. Again, if we can't affect the 5, 10, 15 mile radius that we're in, we're not doing ourselves a service. And it sounds like Guild Mortgage is doing just that. So thank you for that. I would say this: what's one piece of advice or encouragement you give to buyers who may feel overwhelmed throughout this entire process of securing a loan or maybe getting their home for the first time?
Right. Great question. I would say the first thing is, someone concerned, don't be afraid. You have to put one foot in front of the other and take the first step. And that maybe is getting your pre-qual done so we can evaluate where you're at and give you some steps on where to go and how to get to the point where you actually can buy a house. And it's not super complicated. It's credit, capacity. Those are the main things that are out there. And we fit you into those things, tell you how to get there. And then all of a sudden you're able to qualify potentially with no money down at closing, and you can walk with keys in your hand after the closing.
Yeah, I love it. And that goes into, again, your sphere of who you're working with. Someone like Russ, who's at 30 plus years in the game. Someone like myself, who's a trusted realtor in the area. Whatever that looks like, just make sure your team is out there educating you and pushing you in the right steps. It may not happen right now, but it's not a no, it's just a not right now. So we'll build you up to get there. That's the most important part. So if you're not there yet.
One other quick thing on that too, and if you're close, now if you're far away, there'll be some longer steps to get you where you need to be. But if you're close, our credit system will do a simulator to advise you what you need to do to get up to the next level of credit, which may get you qualified. And that may be paying off a balance, maybe paying down a balance to 30% of the limit, or things like that, or two things, or opening up a new credit account. Those are things that the simulator will tell us, and we can, once you do that, we can rescore you and get your credit where it needs to be to qualify you if you're near the line of qualifying.
Well, that's an interesting take. I love it because in a lot of what I've seen, that client who's just not quite there yet with their credit maybe, I see them hiring a credit specialist and saying, hey, I need to get this done in X amount of time, or I need to improve my score by X amount of points in order to qualify for this new home. But you're telling me Guild Mortgage has a program, or a system rather, where they can input your current data, kind of simulate it to tell you where you need to be in the next 3 to 6 months, a year, maybe. Is that right?
That is correct. Now, again, if you're needing really lots of help and your score is way off, maybe 60 to 100 points lower, then those credit repair specialists do come in handy. And they will give you timelines. Some of them have guarantees as far as what they can get your score to and what timeline, and those would be good references too in those cases.
I love it. And something else that you mentioned on here, Russ, you said, do it while you're scared, pretty much. You said, hey, if you're not starting,
be afraid.
Be afraid. I'll tell you, with the start of Roby Realty, I was very afraid to start and put myself on video, kind of put myself out there. But within anything in life, I would say, put your foot out there first. Do it when you're uncertain, and then find those people along the way that can help you reach that next level in your career, in your home buying process, whatever that looks like. So again, thank you for that, Russ, as well.
Yeah, a lot of clients will say, I hope I'm not asking too many questions or bothering you, and there's no amount of questions you can bother us. You're buying the biggest asset of your life with a house, and there's no bad questions, there's not enough questions. So we love at Guild Mortgage, we ask all the questions possible. We take calls at night, weekends, you can text us, we're gonna get you that information and answers, and hopefully faster than all of our competitors.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And you also mentioned something about what you do in the community with CMAR. I just want to, I'm definitely not taking the shift off of Guild Mortgage here. I actually will be working with, next episode, we'll have Miss Lisa Davis, a little sneak peek, Lisa Davis with CMAR. So she's over there. If you don't know what CMAR is, educate yourselves on there. I see a few others on here. Georgia Gano will be on here. We have a few people in our community that we really want to highlight that's going to bring you real knowledge and just be real with you and not sugarcoat it. So and Russ did just that for us. So Russ, I would ask you this before I do a wrap up. How can people reach you? What's that final piece of advice? Like, what are things that we should be doing in our communities as maybe a first-time home buyer or a second-time home buyer right now that can help us secure that mortgage and get to that next level? Yep,
absolutely. Again, take the first step, reach out, talk to your professionals, talk to your realtors, get guidance from them. Get with a local lender that can give you true and honest information and true timelines and present you with some of the best programs and options out there. And it's also good to shop and see what other different programs are out there. Again, if there's a program out there we know of, we will turn and send that to a different competitor if we don't offer it. We do most of them though, so that doesn't happen that often. But we're there. Take the first step, get your credit evaluated, review your income. Again, if you're self-employed, you've got to figure out how much income you're putting on there. We want to put the correct income on there if at all possible, so you do get to the qualification to buy the house that you want to get. And we can guide you through all those steps as well, and actually point you in the right direction with over 30 years experience to a lot of different other associates or people in the community that can help you get there too, as well as us. And again, how to reach me, again, we're located in Madison, Mississippi. My name is Russ Ogburn, Area Producing Manager for Guild Mortgage. And you can do an online pre-qual directly with me at no cost or obligation at www.closewithruss.com. www.closewithruss.com. Because again, anyone who's buying a house will want to close with Russ. So again, highest client satisfaction ratings out there per Zillow, and other groups too, even Google, we're amongst the top. So find someone local, credible, reputable, and someone will work very hard to get you into your home, and that's what we love to do at Guild Mortgage.
I love all of it. You heard it here first, guys. I didn't make this up. Came out of the horse's mouth himself. I do want to go over and shift gears just one more time to some questions that we have in our chat. I did get a question here from B-Dale. It says, what advice post-bankruptcy?
Post-bankruptcy. So depending on your loan program, the government has got is 2 years, 24 months. So for most government loans. So, but you want to get with your lender in regards to that. So if you are in bankruptcy, typical wait time is 2 years, but get with your lender to confirm. There are some exceptions on certain programs. And again, in the meantime, you want to open again secured accounts, credit builder accounts, try to make sure your credit's built back up and not have slow pay after the bankruptcy. That'll give you a full, great path to getting back into a house again.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's that. I don't think there's any other questions that we haven't touched on already, Russ. For those of you who are watching now, watching later, make sure you guys go, first and foremost, Russ said it here, closewithruss.com. I think I got that right.
Closewithruss.com.
And you can also reach me on my newly constructed YouTube channel, Roby Realty, where we talk about all things real estate. You can reach me at www.coreyroby.com. Well, this video and others thereafter will be posted. And just remember that real estate is more than about just houses. It's about communities, it's about opportunities, and it's about people. So just keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you next time on Roby Roundtable. Thank you all. And we also, I forgot to mention. Big news. I almost signed up and I said big news, man. I almost let the people down. So just recently, y'all, I just actually on Tuesday received my broker's license. So I am now a broker, associate broker with eXp Realty. So come for me with all your real estate needs and go to Russ at www.closewithruss.com. Thank you all for tuning in on this first episode of Roby Roundtable, and I'll see you on the next with Lisa Davis. Thank you and have a great day.